Clearly, Republicans have just a 4-seat majority in the House. They have a lot on the line, a lot that they want to push through. Do you expect they'll get a deal done?
Adrienne, they were up until the last minutes of last night, and we still don't know if they're going to have the votes. By the way, it is so exciting that we are 24 hours now, and we are exploring all of this on the Hill regularly. But look, it's easy to say in Washington, and a lot of people do this, that they want to cut. It is much harder when you get into the nuts and bolts of what you're going to cut. And as you just heard, the real issue is the White House says we already said we were going to spend this money. Essentially, if you're budgeting like you're budgeting at the home, you've already obligated yourself to these contractors and to all of these receipts. So you just need to raise the debt ceiling so that we can pay these. And so they're the ones that, even if the Republicans manage to get something through the House, it's very unclear that anything will pass the Senate. And then, of course, President Biden is saying these cuts are not good for American people when they're facing inflation and real kitchen table issues. And so I think, the problem is we're playing with fire because, as you just said, June, if that actually happens and we default, we have not done that before.
No.
And that would have massive ramifications for every American family.
But every year there are scare tactics. Every single year there's this looming threat that we're going to default, and we never do, because whether you're Republican or Democrat in a position of choosing, you don't want that to happen because those dominoes can't be picked back up. There's this tussle. Right. So what's the major sticking point?
Well, the major sticking point is the House Republicans are saying they want to cut spending. And the Biden administration is saying now is not the time to cut spending. We need to continue investing in the economy. And this plays out every administration. I mean, we saw Trump add to spending. We saw Obama, slowly but surely there were some concessions, but everybody's been adding spending for some time. The interesting thing is, because you're absolutely right, we have not defaulted. It is every time it's like scare tactic. But we also have never seen 15 votes to get to the Speaker of the House. So we don't know. Like, you've got George Santos, who's saying, he is unlikely to vote for this, I guess. And, if it all rides on George Santos, we all have problems. So I guess this is going to be the big question for McCarthy and then, of course, the White House on what they're going to do. And they need to come to the table and really get negotiating, because June, it's just around the corner.
But does President Biden have more on the line considering his reelection campaign?
I mean, to some extent, but the Republicans are also up on the ballot. So, the question is, they say they were elected to cut budgets, and if they don't show that they're cutting spending, they say they haven't done their job. The White House is, of course, saying that, they don't want to cut spending right now. They want to continue investing in this economy. And so, I think everybody's got a lot on the line. And the truth is, it's all of us Americans who are going to be hurting if we can't raise this, because interest rates will continue to go up. No one wants to see that. If there's any, internationally, we would have massive ramifications, and the dollar would decrease in value, and nobody wants that. So hopefully they can come to the table like grown-ups, and we can see Washington work.
They will. They will do it at the last minute in the 11th hour, as they do every single year. They like to bicker before they actually come to some kind of grown-up conclusion. Thank you.
We will be watching it on the Hill.
Yes,
right.
I know you will. And again, you mentioned 24 hours, the Hill, part of our 24-hour programming here at NewsNation. Good to have you with us. Thanks again. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.